not our concern. But I think looking at what we're doing to the environment, I think it is everybody's concern to take care of the environment, and we have ways of taking care of it from our own homes. So I'll take you through some of the aspects as far as the menstruation is concerned, and how we can save the landfills from the single-use disposable sanitary napkins. So today's topic is specific to that. So, because we're talking about menstruation, obviously we'll talk about the products that we use. What is it that most of us use during periods? Sanitary napkins and tampons? Anybody else using anything else besides this in this group? Or should I assume that most of us are using sanitary napkins and tampons? Is anybody using a menstrual cup, or has anybody ever used a cloth pad when they started menstruating?
Well, as far as I'm concerned, yes, I have used tampon because I have been in the travel. I mean, I keep traveling. So, yes, I've used both tampons as well as menstrual cups.
Oh, lovely. Okay, so I started using when I got my periods. My mother had given me her old cotton sari, and that is what I used till I was till I entered college. Until that time, I didn't know what disposable sanitary napkins were, and when I got to know what disposable sanitary napkins were, I went back to her and I said, "How did you keep us away from something which is so convenient?" And today I have a different story to tell. But when we came across the disposable sanitary napkins, we were like, wow, this is so comfortable, so convenient, it's leak proof, it has wings and all that, right? But yes, I have used cloth before I started using disposable sanitary napkins. And most of my friends from that generation, from the 70s, I think would have used I gave out my age, I just realized,
No
would have
problem.
used
We are all in the same stage. Don't worry. Yeah.
so would have used disposables, and sorry, would have used cloth.
Sure,
So
Nisha, Soumya here.
yes,
Even in
Soumya.
the 80s, we have used cloth pads. My mother had
That's
passed
so
on that.
lovely. So nice to know people who have used cloth, and who are a part of this forum today. So I'm sure some of you would relate to what I'm trying to say through this presentation.
Yeah.
So this is just some data that I have, which we usually talk about. A woman uses typically 10 to 15 sanitary pads per period and you multiply that to 12 months for 35 years, assuming that she gets her periods when she's 10 years and has menopause by 45 or maybe 50. So 35 to 40 years is what a woman usually menstruates, which means she uses 6,000 disposable sanitary pads in a lifetime, and most of the sanitary waste is disposed in open landfills in unsanitary conditions. For safe disposal, a sanitary napkin needs to be incinerated at temperatures above 800 degrees Celsius. And most of these incinerators that you would see in government schools, and being a Rotarian, I can tell you that we are culprits too, because we've gone out and given out disposable sanitary napkins. And then to deal with the waste, we have installed incinerators, which burn only at 300 to 400 degrees. So we are now working on a campaign to change that narrative, saying that don't give disposable, so you don't have to put the incinerators, and you solve the problem from the root. So and it's an alarming figure here, saying that Bangalore alone produces approximately 90,000 kgs of sanitary waste per day. It's only sanitary waste. So you can imagine, and we are 355 million menstruating women in India. Each woman uses 6,000 disposable sanitary pads. So you can imagine what we're doing to the landfills or what we're doing to the water bodies. So when I started this presentation, I talked about, I used my mom's old cotton sari when I started bleeding. And when I got to know about the disposable, I thought it was convenient. It was thin, it had wings, it didn't move, and all that stuff. But what is the reality? Reality is that it is made up of plastic. It has a lot of chemicals. It causes infections and rashes. It's associated with health problems. And if whoever has used cloth before and then switched to disposable sanitary napkins will relate to the fact that your sanitary pad smells terrible, like almost a dead rat, if you don't change it after 4 or 5 hours. It's not your blood which smells, it is the chemicals which comes in contact with the blood which makes the sanitary pad smell. Of course, it is it's non-biodegradable. It cannot be reused, can't be recycled. And in some families, because of the taboo, and when there are too many men staying there, the girl doesn't even bring the sanitary pad out of the toilet. So what does she do? She just flushes it down the toilet. So there are different ways that everybody deals with the sanitary napkin. So when I said there are chemicals, these are the chemicals that are there in your sanitary napkin. So there is styrene, which is used in making car tires. There is chloromethane, used in making petroleum refining industry, acetone, and chloroethane. They also have fragrances, pesticides, because the cotton which is there inside, there is a residue of pesticide which stays in the pad. In fact, recently there was a post on Instagram which was going around saying that somebody found a worm in her sanitary napkin in the cotton. So we have to be really careful when we start using these disposable napkins. And to think of it, that something which has so many chemicals, we are using it at the most intimate part of our body for 5 to 7 days a month. A thought that I would like to leave you with. How does it affect our health? Studies show that about a third of women who complain of vaginal itching and rashes, soreness, or discharge may be actually experiencing vulval dermatitis or intimate irritation. It's surprising when we've done awareness programs in schools and especially in government schools. And when we ask them a question, has anybody experienced burning sensation or rashes or itchiness? Nobody raises their hand up. And when I put my hand up saying that I have experienced it, and that's why I have shifted to a cloth pad on the first day and menstrual cup on the remaining days of my life, on my period, I can see slowly one hand coming up, and then the second and the third. And then I think what that has taught me that they're so scared of even saying that they experience itchiness and burning sensation. It's all the culprits, I think, are the ads which talk about how comfortable a disposable sanitary napkin is. They show this woman wearing white pants being so comfortable and doesn't talk about the itchiness and the rashes. So the poor girl is left to believe that the itchiness, rashes, or the burning sensation is specific only to her. And it's so comforting for them when you tell them that most of us have experienced it, and they start opening up and start talking about it. So this is one of the things that we do as Rotarians: go and talk to them, make them comfortable to talk about. We also instill a sense of period pride, because we've realized some of the stories that we've heard about period shame, where a girl committed suicide, a grade 7 girl committed suicide because there was a stain on her skirt and she was made fun of. So we thought, as Rotarians who work so closely with school children, it's up to us, our duty, to go and educate them and make the process of menstruation as normal as possible. So how does that impact the environment? What happens to your used pads or tampons after you've finished or you've folded it? What do you think happens? So it's here I've written there, it says it's you either dump, it goes into the landfills, or it is incinerated or flushed down the toilets. Very common sites at least in Bangalore, and I've seen it even in Mumbai. That's a very common sight on the roadsides when BBMP or BMC doesn't come and pick it up. They're on a strike. Isn't that what you see? And this poor Paura Karmika, touches all the waste without any protection, no gloves, no masks. She's exposed to the disposable sanitary napkins. And then there is a Safai Karmachari, that's when the drains get blocked. He has to go down, declog them, and the fumes that are there in those drains are so dangerous. I think there are reported 50 deaths until about a year and a half back of these Safai Karmacharis who have gone down to clean the drains. And most of the times they found diapers, they found menstrual pads, and it's just not fair. The last image on the screen you see is a landfill on the outskirts of Bangalore, and that is 40 feet high. That's a landfill image, and that's 40 feet high. So this is what we are doing when we don't take care of the waste that we generate in our house. If we are not responsible enough, that is where it goes, and that is what it looks like. Incineration. The micro incinerators that I was talking about that are installed in school, they do not burn the sanitary napkins at 800 degrees. They burn it at about 300 and 400, which then emit dangerous fumes like the dioxins, which are carcinogenic, and which is not good, because that's the air that we are breathing every day. this research, this particular fact we got from Dr. K.V. Malini, who talked about how dangerous dioxins are. And she also says that it's the #1 cancer causing agent to human. So if we if we find anyone burning mixed garbage on the roadside, we must go and stop them, because that's the, we are breathing the same air. So some facts here. So as per the National Family Health Survey of 2015-16, about 60% of Indian women have access to sanitary pads. And we are 355 million Indian women who, if they all use disposable sanitary napkins, we generate 90,000 megatons of disposable sanitary napkins, which will cover approximately 320 football playgrounds every month. And of course, Avantika very nicely talked about it in her introduction. She said that it takes about 500 to 800 years to disintegrate each pad. And we just talked about the how toxic it is if it is burned. And I have many friends who have said that I don't use plastic bag, I use cloth bags, and but they use disposable sanitary napkins. So I love to talk about this, saying that you use 50 plastic bags every month if you are not switched over to a cloth pad or a menstrual cup. So you're not really saving the environment in any way. This is also what happens to our earth when we don't take care of our waste, especially today when I'm talking about the menstrual waste. That's the image of the landfill. Most of us would have seen cows eating sanitary napkins on the roadside, plastic bags, and it contaminates the environment, spreading germs for hundreds of years because you're contaminating the soil. And of course, the groundwater is contaminated too. There is a small diagram which talks about how it goes into the the bore wells of the rivers and comes back to us in the form of goes to the fields, and or we drink it, and it comes back to us. So what are the solutions? We've spent so much of time talking about the problems. What are the solutions? Well, there are luckily solutions. There are cloth pads, there are menstrual cups, and there are cloth diapers. The cloth pads, menstrual cups, and cloth diapers are reusable, biodegradable, better for health and the environment, and pocket friendly. The upfront cost may not seem so, but because it is reusable, you get your ROI in a matter of 6 months or maximum 10 months, depending on which brand or which product you're buying. So if you look at it over a period of time, it definitely is pocket friendly. So we'll talk about first option of reusable cloth pads. What are the benefits of a cloth pad? It's comfortable and eco-friendly. It has leak proof. Unlike the times when I started using cloth when I was 13. This has leak proof layer. It has fasteners, which can go around the underwear so that it doesn't move. And the amount spent on a disposable sanitary napkin in 10 years is anything between 12,000 to 45,000 rupees in 10 years only. And we've done a comparison depending on the products that are available in the market on the reusable segment. In 10 years, a woman will spend 2,000 to 4,000. The cloth pad, the life of the cloth pad is about 2 to 2.5 years. So I've taken as 5 sets, and each cloth pad I think costs a full cycle case costs about 350 to 400 rupees. Which is good enough for a woman to use for an entire month. The way I'll talk about it a little later, what Rotary has set up. We've set up a self-help group called Grama Lakshmi, and they manufacture a cloth pad by the name Aram. I'll talk about it, and that costs 350, maybe towards the end. Many times, I think sometime back, when 2-3 years back, when we used to go to the villages and talk about encouraging them to use cloth pads, they said, but it's unhygienic. So, the big wigs, the HLLs and the types went out saying that if you cloth is unhygienic and you can get cancer. Now, there was a reason when we spoke to these ladies, we found out why it was so, because of the taboo of menstruation. Most of these women would use used cloth from home, maybe a dupatta, an old one, or which was not clean, and they would dry it out into dark, dingy corners of the house so that the men of the house don't see. And that is what would cause the infections to the women. So our awareness programs usually insist that on how to use the cloth pad. So this is a very important slide that we show to most of these government school children, that you soak it in cold water for at least 30 minutes, and we insist cold water so that the blood stain doesn't stay. If you use hot water, then the blood stain will sit. You scrub softly with hands and mild detergent. And the most important thing, God's best gift that's given to us is sun, the best natural disinfectant. So it has to be dried out in the sunlight. That is important. And yeah, for the girls in the city, I know some of the girls in city in private schools who've been using cloth pads. What they do is they just wash it, make sure that the blood is gone, and then they just dump it into the washing machine, which is also absolutely okay. You don't need to wash it. So it becomes more convenient for them to use cloth pads. The second option is reusable menstrual cups. It's completely safe. It's made of medical grade silicone rubber. When I say medical grade silicone rubber, it is the same material which is used to make the feeding bottle nipples and the catheters in the ICU for the patients. Unlike tampons, the menstrual blood collects the blood instead of absorbing it. Which makes it even more comfortable to use, because many of you who would have used tampons would realize that after your periods are over, there is a bit of itchiness. That is because the tampons not only absorb the menstrual fluid, but it also absorbs the natural lubricant of the vagina, which is needed to keep the vagina healthy. So the menstrual cup collects the flow rather than absorbing it. And one cup is good enough for 8 years. You collect the blood, empty it, and reuse it. One single cup can be used up to 10 years, 5 years, depending on how well you take care of it. And it forms a seal with the vaginal walls and does not leak. What are the cost advantages of using a menstrual cup? The money spent on menstrual cups, when I started doing this presentation about 5 years back, the prices of menstrual cups then were 3,000 rupees because most of them were imported. But now we have Indian manufacturers, and they've brought down the cost to 750, beginning from 750, and can go up to about 1,500. We've already talked about the money spent on sanitary pads, which will be 12 to 45,000 rupees. And one reusable cup can be used for 8 to 10 years, saving money and generating less waste in the landfill. Because if you burn this cup, it's not biodegradable, but if you burn the cup, it becomes silica. Or you can, so as against so many disposable sanitary napkins, you're just sending out one cup into the landfill. Or it can, we are looking at finding ways on how we can recycle it, or how we can deal with the waste. That is something that we are looking at too. All right, so many people say that biodegradable pads are the in things, but trust me, we do not endorse any single-use biodegradable pads, as they result in pollution at the disposal stage and are still a burden on our landfills and sanitation system. Some pads have plastic for leak-proof layer, and they're still bleached and expose users to dioxins. We've done some, we are volunteers of a campaign called Green the Red, and we've done an experiment. Some of us have done experiments where we have, used the biodegradable pads and tried to bury them in our pots. And even after 3 or 4 months, the pad looks as is. First of all, people called us crazy for doing that in our houses, but I don't think any one of us would have the time to bury a used sanitary napkin into our pots. And if you go to the rural areas, when we've spoken to them, they definitely will not bury them. There are various other reasons why they will not bury, sanitary napkin with blood in the backyard, for reasons best known to them. But nobody buries use sanitary napkins at all. So this biodegradable concept, I don't understand at all, because it, even if some of them say that it will biodegrade in 6 months, which I know we have not seen it happening, it's still sitting in the landfills and contaminating your groundwater. So we don't endorse the biodegradable pads at all. What we say is, from menarche to marriage, we recommend using cloth pads, and from marriage to menopause, please use a menstrual cup. Though we have some girls who are 16, 17 who are using menstrual cups, but with the permission of their mothers. When I go, do awareness programs, I strongly recommend that at least up to the age of 18, the girl should use a cloth pad, only because her body is not completely developed. It's only after 18 that her uterus is completely formed, and after which she can start using a menstrual cup. So the nature of our future depends on the future of our nature. I truly believe in this. And, I would request all of us to think ecological, promote ecotourism, make it economical, rediscover your ecofeminism to prevent an eco-catastrophe. Gone are those days when waste management was, a topic to be talked about. But I believe that not generating waste is truly going green. And I've had a couple of friends who have gone to Leh Ladakh, who have used menstrual cups, and I have had such fantastic feedback from them, saying that they feel so good that they didn't leave and one of them had her periods, and she said, I just feel so good that I didn't leave a used sanitary pad into such a beautiful, pristine place. So I think most of you who go out into the on your treks or your wildlife treks or trips, I think you probably should consider using a cloth pad or a menstrual cup so that you don't contaminate forests. So make the switch to a menstrual cup or a cloth pad and make eco periods a reality. I started off saying eco periods a possibility, but I hope we all can join hands and make this a reality if we switch to sustainable, eco-friendly, economical products. So these are the references where I got some of my data from. And I am open to questions. I hope it was interesting, and I said it'll be interactive, but I just got carried away and I just went talking. If you have any questions, please ask me now.
It was a wonderful session, Nisha, and I think it is so much needed. We don't realize how much trash we anyway, in our everyday lives we throw into the earth, and this is, just look at, we have, I think, if I'm not mistaken, 60% of population of the world are menstruating population, and just imagine the amount of menstrual products that we load onto the earth, which doesn't get, which just remains there for the next 800 years or so. It's an excellent session, of course, and I hope everybody is, engaged and getting to know more about it. Let's see, people can unmute themselves and they can ask questions. Somebody. You all can unmute yourself and ask questions.
Yeah.
Hi, this is Shilpa. Sorry.
Go on, Shilpa. Yeah.
Yeah, hi. Okay, so Nisha introduced me to the menstrual cup in 2017. And I just want to say that since then, it is freedom, absolute freedom. It is so many years of torture just ended in 1 month. It didn't even take time getting used to. It was wonderful. Since then, I can't imagine having lived my life before that without a cup. It is the best gift that my best friend has given me ever. And I want to thank Nisha for it forever and ever. And my daughter, who's 20, also initially she had her apprehensions, but she started using it too, and now we can't do without it. It is the best thing that has happened to us. No rashes. Sometimes you even forget you have your period. It is that convenient. So it's just fantastic. So thank you, Nisha. You changed my 5 days of my every month for me.
Thank you, Shilpa.
I totally agree with her, because, as I said, I'm a person who travels into the remote regions and all the forest areas, truly like a jungly sort of person. And it makes, when I look back and I feel like, okay, I always keep telling everyone, menstrual cup is something, it's a magical product for the women. So, I mean, you are traveling and yet you're not harming the earth in any way. Nisha, I also wanted, I think, because we are on live on Facebook, a lot of parents, like they have these questions. When do you want the kids, teenagers who, is there an age where, when they should start using the menstrual cups?
I would suggest that they should be at least 16 because that's the time when their bodies are completely developed, Gitanjali. Until that time, I would recommend that they use cloth pads.
Okay, let me just see. There's let me see if any chat.
Nisha, good evening. This is Pratima here.
Hi, Pratima.
Basically, just before I attended this session this morning, I was just attending a session on usage of menstrual cups because I had a lot of questions. It was a nightmare. To think of using a menstrual cup. So this morning, actually, I attended a session as to how a menstrual cup is used, what it's made of, is it safe, not safe. I attended an Insta live session, and now I've come for this session, and I'm very motivated and to actually go in for a menstrual cup now. I think I'll just make the transition.
Fantastic. Fantastic. And trust me, you'll not regret it. Like Shilpa said and Gitanjali says that it is absolute freedom. It's like a no period day on a period day. Trust me. I have to remind myself that I have not emptied the cup because I don't even realize, especially on the last day, I don't even realize that I'm wearing a cup. So
Yeah.
if you change to a cup, I'm telling you, you will love that freedom.
Yeah, and also another thing is I want to actually start, promoting it and saying, okay, go about using a cup, telling people to start using a cup.
Okay.
So that is the main reason why I want to change first, experience it, and then share my experience with others.
Pratima, that's one of the best ways to do it because once you've changed to a cup, you'll be able to handle all answers, all questions very confidently.
Right.
And we also have a volunteer group. We are setting up a volunteer group to do this awareness program. And you can join us because we are looking out for volunteers to reach out to people who can switch to reusable products. We would love to have you on board as a trainer.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you so much, Nisha. I would like to know which link is this? Or should I just get in touch with you with regards to volunteer group?
I'm posting her website.
Okay.
It's called yarinari.com.
Perfect, Nisha. Thank you so much. Gitanjali, thank you so much.
Yeah, some questions.
Gitanjali, it's nariyari.com.
I'm so sorry. I'm so
okay.
sorry. Okay, I'm rewriting it. Please ignore.
Can you share it in the message so
Yes,
that we
yes,
can
yes.
just it will be easier? Yeah, hi.
Hello, Shireen.
Hi, yeah. Hi, this is Shireen. Usually I'm a Malaysian, but it happens that I usually married to a Bangladeshi. We both are Rotarians. I just want, because in our country, unlikely, I think most of the children in school, we usually started to teach them using the menses pads. So this is something very interesting, especially you're talking about the cups, about the cloth is a bit challenging, I think, for the students. Because I don't think they want to go into the trouble to wash it. Like you have to usually educate them to do it. But I'm very curious about a cup because I don't even use it before. And I still cannot figure out how it used and what's the challenge to it. Maybe, maybe you can share with it. Like I'm very sure that this thing will be very workable in Bangladesh. So it can be another awareness campaign, awareness on, our coming 7 area of focus. Especially we are trying to target to those girls in the school. So it's something very interesting to me to find out more. So I just want to hear from you, what is the challenges for the girls to start using it? Because some of you ladies here are usually already start using it. Yeah.
Yeah, so Shireen, what I would suggest is that let us try and promote the menstrual cups to girls above 18. Below that, we do have a complete training module on cloth pads for school children. And we have some testimonials from some schoolgirls between the age of 11 to 18 who have used cloth pads and how they take care of it when they're in school. So I can share that with you, and I can help you develop a program for you in Bangladesh, Shireen, for the girls.
Yeah, I already dropped my my contact number, WhatsApp at your message. Yeah. Thank
Sure.
you.
Sure.
Yeah.
I will get in touch with you. I have your number, and
Yeah.
I would love to help you work on a program in
Thank
Bangladesh.
you.
And
Yeah, I'm very sure that it'd be very helpful. Yeah.
A good thing is some people want a repeat program, Nisha. That's a very good thing. So probably going forward, we should have it in intermittent intervals.
Sure.
Okay, I'll just read out some of the messages that has been coming over chat. There's Redmi, I don't know the name. It says that Redmi. Thank you for this informative session. I started using cloth since my menage. It was comfortable using, but drying was difficult. As I started going to work, started using sanitary pad and was quite comfortable because of no wash, no dry. This is eye-opening. Wish I knew that time. Thank you for the session.
Yeah, so I would like to just answer that question, and maybe this will answer Shireen's doubt too. So the cloth pads that we manufacture here in Bangalore, and if y'all anybody is wanting to set up a cloth pad manufacturing unit, we have a model which we have built, which is the jacket insert model, the Aram cloth pads that I was talking about. So when a girl uses the cloth pad, this is what it would look like. So we give them a jacket, and we give them the insert. So all that she has to do is, this is what actually comes in contact with her skin, and she has to just stick it in these loops and fasten this around the underwear. When she is in school, after 4 hours, she just removes this, puts a fresh one, and the used insert, she folds it inside with the blood on the inner side, and we also provide a leak-proof pouch. So we put this in the pouch, put it in our bag and bring it home, and then put it in and follow the procedure of soaking it for 30 minutes. And trust me, because it is made of cotton, there is absolutely no smell. The smell that you associate with a sanitary napkin, it's because of the chemicals and not because of the cloth pad. So anybody who's used cloth will agree with me that the cloth pads don't smell. The only smell that you would get would be that of blood and not anything else. So this is something that we recommend, and this is how the schoolgirls are managing after every 4 hours to bring this home.
Yeah. It'll be very helpful. You can give me a sample, you can contact me and let me know how we do it. You know what happened is that I'm running a garments factory here. And so what happened is that we have a lot of leftover cloth. So usually I put the leftover cloth and I give it to the toilets, to all our garments worker. They're all ladies, majority of them are ladies. So I usually never ask them how they use it, but I usually leave it there. After we have our excess of cutting piece that we don't need it, I put it there and let them have it. I was expecting them use it means they use it and they throw it away. I don't know whether they will usually wash it or not. I didn't ask in detail. Yeah, thank you.
I can help you put up a presentation and a complete program on how to make a cloth pad, how to care for it, and all that. We can help you do that, Shireen.
Yeah, it would be very helpful. Thank you.
Yeah, Shireen, I'm Shiv. I'm Nisha's husband. And
Hi.
hi there. Yeah, one of our friends is a Rotarian in Bangladesh. She's a Nilufar from Dhaka Mavericks. And
I know her.
She has the samples of the cup as well as the sample of the pads, because she had visited us a couple of months back before the COVID situation. So she has samples. Yeah, so she has samples. So you could get in touch with her and you can get a feel of how the product looks like.
Yeah, I know her. I'm very close to her. I went to
Okay,
Russia
so please just get in touch with her. She can show you the samples.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thanks for sharing.
Welcome.
Yeah. Nisha, there's one more question from Jyoti.
Yes, Gitanjali.
Yeah, she wants to know, Jyoti writes, I wanted to ask, what are the challenges you face in bringing about behavioral change regarding the use of cloth pads and menstrual cups?
Especially in a rural setting. Yeah.
You'll be surprised, Jyoti. That's a fantastic question. But my learning has been, so we've done awareness programs in rural areas and in corporates, and we've had a very interesting finding. The women in the rural areas accept to the cloth pads faster than the women in the urban areas, because they're used to the concept of cloth pads. They are familiar with it. Also, they understand the economics, the amount of savings that they do over a period of time. It's only us in the urban areas who have 1,000 questions about how safe is it, how hygienic it is, but we very blindly wear the disposable sanitary napkin without any question just because of the ads. But the rural woman understands how hygienic a cotton cloth pad is. And yes, there is a bit of reluctance in switching over to cups in the rural areas. And we believe that a woman, unless she is mentally ready, we do not force her to switch to a cup, especially in the rural areas, because our findings have also been that many women are sexually abused, and we don't want them to use a menstrual cup if they are not comfortable. But the acceptance to cloth pad in the rural areas is fantastic, much better than the corporates and the urban.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome.
Nisha, I had a question.
Yeah.
Shiv,
Yes,
can I just ask it?
Yeah, please.
Okay. Nisha, you were just mentioning that we city breders or the urban people utilize this synthetic pads more because of the ads. But point number one is most of us do not know where to access this cloth pads. We need to get onto an e-commerce portal, find out, put 3-4 words, and then finally end up with the product. Is there any way, now that you are into Aram cloth pads, or we, the club, is into Aram cloth pads, is there any way to, get it onto the OTC levels, over-the-counter levels? So
Yes.
that, and then talk about a health bulletin, a small little health bulletin maybe, so that we can popularize the product. Otherwise, we urbans will never, unless you and a group like you passionately keeps on talking about this,
Yeah.
and still it is a trickle in the sea, if I'm not wrong. So how to get it out into the market with a beautiful communication is a challenge, Nisha, which you should answer, I think.
We should look at this, Suparna, and some of the Rotarians have realized the importance of reusables, and they're helping us connect with the organic stores to begin with. And now, unfortunately, because of COVID, I think everything's come to a standstill, and people are not really wanting to stock up anything at the storefront. But I think we should look at, I know there are, Health and Glow and organic stores will be open to this idea. And once this COVID situation is done with and it's safe for people to go out to shops, that's something that we must look at, because my vision, Suparna, in the next 2 years is that a woman should have an option to choose, because I don't see disposables going away for a long time. But
Exactly.
A woman should have an option to choose a cloth pad or a menstrual cup or a disposable. That option should be given to her, and it should be made available in all pharmacies and supermarket, and that's my vision. So we all need to put our heads together and see how we can make that a reality.
Suparna, that's why we at All Ladies League thought of this session, especially because we are into ecology conservation, and this is one way of spreading the awareness about it. So that's why we are here. I mean, we'll from our side we'll keep creating awareness about the menstrual cups, of course, going forward. And I think these sessions has to keep happening on Rotary platform, on other platform also. I think this is a good time to create that awareness.
Yeah, I think, Gitanjali, I myself am a Rotarian, so I'm very much little aware about this entire issue. What I feel, Gitanjali, is people or individuals like you who are well connected with the eco front, why can't we get it to the mass media? Small talking modules on, let us say, TV9 in Kannada. Okay, because we are currently talking from Bangalore. This can then be repeated across every place. Then at least a trickle will start happening. Otherwise, we are talking in hundreds and thousands, actually. But if the network is good enough, Gitanjali, and I'm sure you must be having a much larger network, and there must be friends in Rotary who are well connected with the media. Can you have, Nisha, a talking module on mass media is what I was thinking about. You give all the 3 options to them: disposable, non-disposable, cloth pads, cups, all of them. But let the woman be aware that she need not live with disposable napkins all her life and do a hell of a blunder to the world. And to herself also, actually, to herself also. So this needs to go out in a normal communication format is what I was thinking, and is my request. Both. Thank you.
Thank you, Suparna. Gitanjali, I have an idea. When Suparna has been talking, something that just came to my mind.
Yeah.
Is it possible that with your help and with all the connects that you may have with the wildlife resorts,
Mhm.
can we create an awareness in these wildlife resorts about the reusable options? So they will have their stores, right? So can we have a communication saying that, have you heard? I mean, don't leave use sanitary pad in this forest. We can come up with communication, but is there a way for us to make it popular in these resorts?
Why not? Why not? That's a good idea. In fact, like when you started, when you said something about, like requesting people to use ecotourism as the mode of travel. So something, like triggered because I'm into ecotourism, like something just, like flashed my mind. So next time I have, like as a travel agent, as a, like tour organizer, at the end of the tour, I give some small gift to all my travelers. Probably next time around, if I see some young travelers, like I'm probably going forward, like I'll start giving this, which is, like usable. They can keep on using it. So yes, I can like connect you with all the resorts or all the places. It's a good suggestion. We should do that. In fact, we can even use Sanjay's
Yeah, because
contact because yeah, we are all part of Jungle
sorry,
Lodges.
Gitanjali.
Yeah, no problem, no problem. So we are connected. So yes, we can create this awareness, and at least like fellow travel agents who are into this sector, especially the ecotourism sector. Otherwise, also, like, so why not? We can always connect this concept to them.
Yeah, super, super.
May I
Nisha?
suggest one thing? Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Just Nisha, can you please give them an update on the Alleppey project that has happened with HLL? I think that will be one of the first success stories of a mass usage of menstrual cups.
Yeah, this was last year when Kerala was Kerala was hit with the floods, and we worked very closely with Hindustan Latex Limited and distributed 5,000 menstrual cups, and they came out with a beautiful format of collecting survey, distributing it, hand holding, and then collecting the feedback on what their experience was when they switched to cups. So that is, yeah, on a mass distribution or a mass a single uh, uh, contact is the HLL story, and it's worked beautifully. They are also looking at taking it to other revenue districts too, because of the success that they've had in Alleppey. We look forward to such associations with government, the Women and Child Department or the ecotourism, where we can create awareness and promote reusable options.
Wonderful,
Shilpa?
wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah, Shilpa.
Hi, I just wanted to know about the radio, the FM option for publicity. Has that been explored?
It has, but it has, it only works around the menstrual hygiene day, which is 28th of May or 5th of June, which is the World Environment Day. Where in Bangalore, we've done a couple of awareness programs. We've given out freebies. We've had a contest and all that stuff, but it's not an ongoing program because it all costs monies. And, going over a period of time, we need to look at how we can create more awareness, the social media, I mean, on the mass media, the radio and the TV or whatever.
Yeah, Guruprit has a suggestion. If you start an awareness project in colleges so that youngsters first realize the need of these eco-friendly options. Yes, I think that's also a good option.
And that's what we have the road tractors, which is who are in the age group of 18 to 30, and they're helping us take it to colleges. I also believe that we need to create this awareness, and Gitanjali, because you're a Rotarian, you'll understand that we need to take this through the literacy chair to the government schoolgirls, who have just started menstruating, and give them the cloth pads so that they don't ever know what a disposable sanitary napkin is. It's easier for them to use a reusable better than switching over to a reusable. So I feel we need to start from that age. Because if you go to a 25-year-old and tell her to use a cloth pad, there'll be more resistance. But if you tell her what impact it's going to create on the environment to a 10-year-old, I think she will accept it far better.
Okay, there's also a question, like what is the minimum age for volunteering you were talking about the volunteer group.
So we have a volunteer who's 13 years old, who uses a cloth pad, and she has even recorded a video for us on how she is trying to convince her school friends on the usage of cloth pads. So as long as she's menstruating and she understands what she's contributing, there is no age bar, Gitanjali. We can have them as young as 11 and 12.
Oh, great. Yes. Anyone? Any other question? Okay, there's one more question has popped up. I suggest we can first start it from our own neighborhood, friends and family, more like a chain, which would surely reach many once it's accepted. Yes, I think that's also a good idea. Probably, like now you have big complexes, apartment, probably, going ahead, probably through the Rotarian platform, you can make presentations to all these gated communities,
Yeah, so Gitanjali, on that topic, I would like to say that we do conduct train-the-trainer sessions. So anybody over here who wants to take it to their daughter's school, their kids' school or their offices or their apartments, they can register with us. On my WhatsApp number, we'll add them to the training group, and they can become trainers in their own and do the training at their own sweet time.
Yeah, can I share your phone number here, or you can write?
I will. I'll put it in the chat.
Yeah. Okay, wonderful. Yes, anyone has got any question? Yes, a lot of, it's nice, and it is nice to see it as President Rose from Zimbabwe has also, she's the member of Rotary Club of Chitungwiza.
Oh, lovely. Nice. we have quite a few people from countries joining us. Lovely.
Yes. Yes, I think we don't have any more questions. Let me just once scan through Facebook and see if any questions there.
Sure.
Okay. No questions, but yes, it's a very nice session, is what they have written. Okay. Okay, Nisha, I think we can wind up, and thanks again. Thank you so much for all the participants logging in from wherever you are. Thanking you all for joining this wonderful session. And Nisha, as part of IT Nature Trust and as part of All Ladies League chapter of Ecology Conservation, we are always there to support you in any way in spreading awareness, or you want to take more sessions, you're most welcome to do that. And let's make the difference together to the world for a greener earth.
Yeah, I look forward to your support, Gitanjali, and I don't mind doing another session. And if people want here on how specific sessions on how to use a cloth pad or how to use a menstrual cup, I'll be more than happy to do that as a separate session.
Yes, yes. We will think of, we'll have a discussion and we can take it forward probably next month or something. Okay, and thanks everyone. Thank you so much, and happy evening to all again.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Share the recording of
Yes.